I sojourned through a dreamlike day into night so supped on solitude, it found me lain, a monologue in mind, not this. Gaseous dark and expanding void seen in the mirror askance, I mused, forgetting what came before, what lay ahead, the deep, I knew, would this wakefulness occlude. What not I could say original, though better perhaps, for since what is only is, that unoriginal thought be thought harder by far to sensibly acquire, since what is only is. Time shook its burdensome fists against my sky, like a stopped clock, for me, cast into that encompassing gulf, the chasm beyond, the inward turned, one of three, until a world within, its borders nowhere, circumference, centre, nothing. By the by consumed this incandescence, revealing a not place wherein a beauty lay. So torpid, yet, as once I knew, an awful sense of shame incensed, by heaven's rarest flowers purity, brought to earth and buried deep in dank soil perfumed with corpses' stench, yet due to bloom to audacious wonder. In flight prolonged I know not how long, how far or where, I finally fell, amidst narrow saplings surging, their wet autumn leaves strewn, beneath, before, around me like marbled flakes of a temple frieze long crumbling to pieces, resisting the burdensome fists of time. "Come in, have a seat," a breakfasty voice at his morning spread said. So, seething through teeth clenched, saying nothing louder than silence, we sat. A voice in the street. Old stern summons. All rise. Policeman at the window, uniform on backwards, notepad on his scapula and his radio talking to his occipital crown, balding like a dry desert oasis, a mirage of ego's solemnity. Dashed out into that damned street where robbers rob, stealing themselves through windows, like the morning light shone instead at night in a caper hated and endured. And law does not arrive with siren blaring, but a bleak knock signalling to them, now the morning's dried the hard tattered concrete. So back in, through the black door. Is it a mirror made for reflection or shattered? Anyway, I stepped through into the empty kitchen, no kettle boiling, and placed 2 pencil erasers in each cup of those lovers who, without desire, without despair, there dwell where I was intruding. That mirror's edge wood-wormed through in places, frames the pane, the portal by which I entered again and again, abandoning social graces in silence, alone and staring at the many faces, dissolving, descrying, departing, divergently flying through melting images like a church window decaying, viscous over under centuries of standing. No compass can aid the traveller who, in such no man's land, has no eyes. There I disappeared. I'm going now. We loosened hands' grip and slipped away back to the fleeting lands. I said to myself in a voice of thunder after, Om Hreem. Long, drawn out, digested in ears, and descended deep. Then, Namah Shivaya. World, 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 the cards laid out in disassociated night, a red wax blob hanging on its wick. Kamala, Damala, Tamala Mala. The downward stairs flight, ever deeper the sleeper saunters slipping. housed in the vagaries of the far away, yet ever nearly dropping. Oh, the drip drops, oh, there it stops, on La Rue for evermore. Just arrived in Poltanwin, the mystery brigadier from afar lays his law down to the troops, one punctuated staccato after another. Nodding like those lost from view in the was, now not, no more, they file out in synchronized march to fall out before the aftermath. "Fall in!" bellows the lion's roar, like a soused evening's pub time called. So to battle on foot they went, on hands and knees home they crawled. Kamalea, Kamalea. Through the mirror in the yonder land we lived, lifetimes spent at meals. The other world all was there, in the antithesis image of us, sometimes glancing, we and them. No sound escapes from either duplex, a veil twixt us and thee. A winnowing wail from outside dreams the diurnal waking, their breathing slow and steady. It seems they slumber softly, they are not ready to rise, to raise, to lift eyelids, to create the world and let them in. They are like fire in firewood, latent, corpulent, breathing slow and steady. Kamalea, Kamalea. Hollow a bell tolls, extolling its clangorous chimes. Down, away, drooping and stooping through the gates, footsteps following in rhythm rhymed with a graveyard's solemn silence. Tread their tall visitors' steps like desert salamanders. Dormant adrenaline congeals nestled in its cells. A phantom fleet of swans pass by, capably mistaken as shapely paper clouds surreptitiously sailing. Well, I clopped on his door, no answer. Nor like him, is it? Trying again, I would. I will, sees he's needed. He'll go past himself coming back one of these days, and no mistake. Pregnant, a deeper drone winnows and fades in the crystalline morning air. And if they should ask you, those who would like to know everything, what will you say? Last night, coal-black, starless, sunless sea lapping a chorus heard yet not seen. Nothing. No image reflected in the waking psychology projected, the shining one reflected. Perhaps self-luminous black sun, sacrificial laughter, wine-bearer's daughter, slayer's slaughter, sought after, holy water wasted on the forgotten god's altar. Gamapada, Nidapagare. The mouths sewn up like a nation hidden across the horizon, a lost continent. Sensitive no more in the what will become, deep sleep, a mere blank. Simmering semblance of a seldom trodden road, followed by all in their unconscious paces plodding. Not here, not now, never again. No foundation, transient faces, masks squinting, not blinking. If you're ever stuck, go here. A map of the unmapped regions reluctantly resisting, cocooned in a chrysalis indepartable, swaddled, contained, colloquial. Ordinary life, extraordinary adventure, old age, innocence, experience, always meeting ourselves, breathing slow and steady. Kamalaya, Kamalaya.